Imagine a world where the very air around you was a mystery, a place where burning things seemed to vanish, leaving nothing behind. It was into this enigmatic landscape that Antoine Lavoisier stepped, a man who would revolutionize our understanding of matter itself. His crucial experiments, often referred to as the conservation of mass, were a quiet storm that shook the foundations of chemistry. By meticulously weighing reactants before and after a chemical change, Lavoisier discovered something profound. Matter isn't destroyed, it merely transforms. It was a revelation so fundamental, so elegantly simple, that it laid the bedrock for all modern chemistry, proving that in the grand theater of chemical reactions, nothing is ever truly lost, only rearranged. The year is 1956. Across Eastern Europe, the iron grip of communist control was tightening. But in Hungary, a spark of defiance ignited. In the heart of Budapest, students took to the streets, their voices rising with an undeniable demand for freedom. Statues of Soviet leaders toppled, and the roar of burning tanks echoed through the city, a visceral symbol of their rebellion. For a fleeting, exhilarating moment, Hungary tasted liberty. The world watched, a flicker of hope in its eyes. But that hope was brutally extinguished. Soviet forces, vast and unyielding, invaded once more. A savage crackdown followed, crushing the revolution and leaving thousands dead, imprisoned or fleeing their homeland. The dream of a free Hungary, crushed by the sheer might of a superpower, left an indelible scar on the Cold War landscape. The year is 1571. Beneath the scorching sun in the Gulf of Patras, a titanic struggle for the fate of empires was about to unfold. The mighty Ottoman navy, a force that had long dominated the Mediterranean, faced a formidable coalition, the Holy League, a desperate alliance of Christian powers. This was no mere skirmish. It was a clash of civilizations, a naval crusade. Hundreds of galleys, their oars churning the sea into a frenzy, bore down on one another. Then, the thunderous roar of cannons erupted, shattering the air as iron tore through wood and flesh. The decks ran crimson with the blood of thousands who perished in the brutal melee. When the smoke finally cleared, the unthinkable had happened. The myth of Ottoman invincibility at sea was shattered, and for a Europe that had long held its breath, a profound sense of freedom began to dawn. Imagine a world where iron giants roared to life, not on battlefields, but on tracks, forever changing the speed of human endeavor. This was the dawn of a new age, ignited by the vision of Richard Trevithick. In the early 19th century, this audacious engineer unleashed his revolutionary steam locomotive onto the rails of South Wales. It was a monstrous creation, belching smoke and steam, a far cry from the gentle horse-drawn carts of the time. But this wasn't just a marvel of engineering. It was a symbol of raw power, capable of hauling immense loads with an unstoppable force. Trevithick's locomotive, though not the first steam engine, was the first to truly conquer the iron road, paving the way for the railway revolution that would shrink distances, fuel industrial might, and utterly transform the very fabric of society. Imagine an army, so vast it numbered over 100,000 men, poised for battle. Yet, the enemy they faced was not the Ottoman Turks they had marched to confront, but themselves. This is the bizarre and tragic tale of the Battle of Karansebes. In a desperate scramble for supplies, Austrian hussars, convinced they were under attack by the Turks, began firing on their own infantry. The confusion escalated into a full-blown panic. Soldiers mistook campfires for enemy artillery, and their own shouts of "Turka! Turka!" echoed through the night, sowing terror. By dawn, the victorious Ottoman forces found a battlefield littered with thousands of Austrian casualties, not from enemy blades, but from friendly fire, and a catastrophic breakdown in command. It remains one of history's most astonishing and self-inflicted defeats, a stark reminder of the devastating power of fear and miscommunication. Imagine a thriving settlement, a beacon of English hope on the shores of a new world. Then, silence. A chilling mystery descends upon Jamestown, a place that once pulsed with life, now eerily deserted. What happened to the 600 souls who called this place home? In the harsh winter of 1609, famine, disease, and conflict with the Powhatan people ravaged the colony. It was a period so brutal, so desperate, that survivors resorted to unthinkable acts just to stay alive. This era, known as the Starving Time, nearly extinguished the Jamestown dream. Though the settlement eventually recovered, the memory of those lost and the harrowing struggle for survival serves as a stark reminder of the immense challenges faced by early colonists, forever shaping our understanding of America's fragile beginnings. It began as a symbol of French pride, a grand frigate setting sail for a new colonial venture. But the asterisk Medusa, a ship tasked with transporting officials to Senegal in 1816, would become a byword for incompetence and a horrifying testament to human endurance. A botched navigation, a captain more interested in political favor than maritime skill, led the asterisk Medusa to run aground on a sandbank off the coast of Mauritania. While the privileged few escaped in lifeboats, over 150 souls were abandoned, crammed onto a hastily constructed raft. What followed was a descent into unimaginable hell: starvation, dehydration, madness, and cannibalism. Days later, a mere 15 survivors were rescued, their bodies emaciated, their minds shattered. The scandal that erupted upon their return exposed the rot within the Bourbon Restoration, forever etching the asterisk wreck of the Medusa into the annals of maritime disaster and inspiring one of art history's most powerful and disturbing masterpieces. Imagine a time before computers, before the very concept of software. It was then, in the mid-19th century, that a woman named Ada Lovelace, daughter of the famously tempestuous Lord Byron, looked at a revolutionary new machine, Charles Babbage's proposed analytical engine. While others saw a mere calculator, Ada saw something far grander. She recognized its potential to do more than just crunch numbers. In her detailed notes, she penned what is now considered the world's first computer program. It wasn't just a set of instructions. It was an algorithm designed to calculate Bernoulli numbers, a complex mathematical sequence. This wasn't just a theoretical exercise. It was a glimpse into the future, a demonstration that machines could follow intricate instructions, paving the way for the digital age we inhabit today.